So, I am literally fresh off finishing Chapter 2, Process 2 of the Endfield main story, and I just wanted to make this sort of mini review while these thoughts are still fresh in here. So, before I get started, I just wanted to let you guys know I got started on playing Endfield on January 21st, 2026, and then I finally finished the story like maybe an hour ago on January 28th, 2026 in the morning. So that's basically a total of 41 hours spread across a whole week, and I literally did nothing but just prioritize on it. That completion time may be short, but I've had launch gacha experiences like with Genshin and HSR and Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero, and it's been like 2 years since the last one of those released. I think it was like Zenless Zone Zero. And it's been a while since I've felt that same sensation of focusing on the main story and grinding for your account levels so that you can like unlock the next story quest for the launch update. So it's been so long, but it's pretty much the same exact experience. And now that I've finally reached the end of the story of this current launch update of Enfield, how do I feel about it? So I think the most important thing to talk about, just off rip, is the gacha. So I just want to say one thing about this. Throughout my entire 41 hours week-long experience playing this game up to this point, catching up with the story, not once have I ever felt compelled to do the gacha at all. Not even once. So I have like 70 standard pulls that I never even did. I'll probably show it on the screen. And I only ever did the 40 ticket guaranteed event thing so that you can get like a free a 6-star operator. And remember, I only focused on the story. So just for reference, this is how much rolls I have after catching up with the story, and I never even rolled for Levatane's banner even once, because I'm saving all of these rolls for Yvonne when she comes out next month. But yeah, I can't emphasize how much like your experience with this game, you don't feel compelled at all to roll for the gacha. It genuinely just feels like a normal game to me, and that's exactly what I enjoy about this game. A game that actually respects your time, and then it lets you like do things at your own pace. Obviously there's the authority level milestones that you have to reach, but other than that, I mean, it's literally, you don't feel compelled to do the gacha, and even the dailies. Like, I had no issues with doing the dailies too. All you have to do is just do what you normally do, just spend sanity, explore, do like the normal things as you're going throughout the story, and I didn't even have to go out of my way to do anything. Like, I just naturally finished my dailies as usual. That's what I really like about a gacha game like this. It actually respects your time. And to further cement that in, literally the only character that I've played throughout this entire 40-hour experience was the administrator, the main character, because I got like main character syndrome, I don't know. But jokes aside, I think the main character is really cool because obviously like the other gacha games, obviously they're going to be getting like a new element, so they get better over time. And plus, their copies or consolations, eidolons, or whatever, they're free too, because they're the free unit. And the only team that I've used throughout this entire 41-hour experience was obviously the administrator, Perlica, Chen, and the healer chick, Ardelia, or whatever. Yeah, Ardelia. And I do plan on replacing Ardelia with Yvonne once Yvonne's banner comes out. Now let me move on to smaller points here. So voice acting is actually not that bad. It's actually really good. I played 41 hours of it all entirely in English, and I actually prefer the English. Especially Rossi and Tang Tang and Wolfguard too. They fucking nailed their voices. I really love their voices. I'm hoping there's other characters that have that same direction of just having maybe even goofy voices, and that having goofy voices is fine too. Like they're really good. Like it adds more immersion to the character and the world as well. Now as for music, I won't really say much on the music here. I mean, the music is great, it has good ambient music, has good boss music. The final boss for Valley 4, they had like the orchestrated music and the choir and the opera singing for it to emphasize like how grandiose it is. Yeah, that was really good. And even before that, before we go to the final boss, like how everybody was just getting ready for the climax of Valley 4's ending, like how explosions were going on everywhere, and you hear the music. It felt like I was in a Transformers movie that Michael Bay directed. Like, it's actually absolute cinema. And the characters that play the role in the said story, especially Tata, man, rest in peace Tata, man. I will miss Tata. I mean, Yvonne can eventually rebuild Tata, right? There's also Andre. Andre's funny too, and then especially Crow, when he was riling up his troops at the finale of Valley 4. That was actually peak too. And now another big factor of this game is obviously the gameplay. So I have 2 points here that I'm going to talk about the gameplay. So the first is factory / exploration. I put them 2 in the same because they're pretty much one and the same. For the factory, you need materials, and to get those materials, you have to go outside in the world initially to get them. And then you put them in the factory, and then you can put them in an infinite loop, right? And do you know what game that's similar to? That's literally Atelier Yumiya. How you just go out and explore the open world, get materials, build materials, and then put them into like devices and shit. And you can even build your own house in Yumiya, but you can't do that in Endfield. But that's literally Atelier Yumiya, and it's no wonder why I loved this aspect of the game of Endfield. And the second bullet point is the combat. I mean, the combat is fine. People say it's very simplistic. And I would agree with them, because literally all you do is just hold the square button for auto attack, and then occasionally activate the skills and the ultimate whenever they're available. Like, I know that's very simplistic, but you also have to combine the combat with Gacha as well, because you get said characters from the Gacha. And if you ask me, I mean, as someone that mains the administrator, I have no incentive to roll for the Gacha at all, unless it's a character that I really like. And obviously I really like Yvonne a lot, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna roll for her. But other than that, I don't feel compelled to roll for anyone else. Maybe I'll roll for someone else in the future, but for me, no, I'm good. Again, I'm casual. I'm not a content creator that makes like content for every single character that releases in the game. I'm really not that kind of person. I don't limit myself to just to that kind of content. I just really like talking about things that I like. So I've talked about some good parts of the game. What are the bad parts of it? So I'm just gonna get this out of the way. The factory system. Now let me explain. So the factory system, depending on if you use codes from other players and take the easy route, or you're like me and you just manually make whatever works, it will be the one part of the game that you're going to be spending majority of your time on, like me. And I must say, I have to admit, it gets a little much of a hassle. It's a hassle to do eventually, because you have to connect like the electric pylons throughout the entire map. And you have to connect the relay towers as well throughout the entire map, so that you can connect them to electric pylons that are connected to ore rigs. And you have to do that throughout the entire map. And I really didn't like that part of it. I mean, I did. It's actually fun to explore. But if I want something done now, and if I want it done like immediately, I have to wait. And that's the one weakness that it has. Like, you can't rush things. It has to be slow. It has to be at its own pace. Another bullet point for the bad is Etchspace Salvage. I don't know if it's just me, but I really don't like that mode, and I'm probably never ever gonna touch that mode at all throughout my entire experience with Endfield, because I only did it just for the experience points for authority level. But other than that, I am staying far the hell away from that. It's boring as hell. I'm good. And I guess the most important bullet point in the bad section of this video is probably the gacha. I mean, you've already seen plenty of videos regarding the gacha. If you reach 80 pulls, you hit the 50-50, but 40 rolls after, if you lose the 50-50, then you're guaranteed, right? But that just means you have to roll 120 off rip, because it doesn't even carry over, and that's the issue. And let's not even get started on the weapon banners either. That is obviously the bad part of it. Again, you've probably already seen multiple videos on it, so I'm not going to talk about it here. And I'm pretty much fortunate in this situation because, again, I'm not a gacha content creator, so I'm not going to roll for every single character, you know? Okay, and now let's talk about the story. So in short, the administrator was in stasis for like a whole decade, and then they lost their memories, and then the whole plot of the game is just that you're exploring throughout Talos 2, the planet, which is blighted by, well, the blight. And you're using the PAC, which is pretty much an infinite resource device to help people out. The main characters of the story so far is the administrator, Perlica, and Chen. These three characters, obviously the main one, but the two characters that stick with you that are consistent throughout the entire story is Chen and Perlica, and I must say they're really good companions on the side. Now in HSR, or Honkai Star Rail, they similarly had, alongside Stell or Kalis, you had Welt, Himeko, Danheng, and March, right? But unfortunately, their writing fell off significantly hard on the wayside because they're doing pretty much the same thing that Wuthering Waves is doing, which is glazing their character to Kingdom Come, because they're like, oh, look at this character that you have to roll for. Like the writing just fell completely off with Evernight March. Well, especially Evernight March and the Chrysos Heir, Danheng, Terravox or whatever. Those fell off hard, significantly hard. For Inhibitor Lune, Danheng, I think he was fine, but anyway. But yeah, it's a simple plot. So we're going against the Landbreakers, which is Neferith, and eventually you meet, what's his name? Ardashir? Yeah, I have my notes here. Ardashir at the beginning of Wuling. And their whole thing is to open like ether rifts, so that because they're doing some sort of, they have a goal that they have to conduct, but I don't think we know their main objective yet. And to no surprise, the villains obviously know about the administrator, because literally everybody knows the administrator. And if this plot sounds familiar, it's because it is. That's literally Rover's plot in Wuthering Waves. Think about it. He did something in the past and he had played a major role in it, but then he loses his memories, and then he has to roam that same world years later with characters that already know shit about him, and then they glaze him to Kingdom Come, or they hate him. Like, it's the same plot, except the only difference is, and keep in mind this may change in the future, the only difference between Endfield and Wuthering Waves' story is that Endfield actually separates its character quests from the main quest. I know that Wuthering Waves did this already, but then they eventually converged character quests and main quests into one, and that was not it. If you know, you know. If you've played the 3.0 quests and how they did Chisa dirty, you would know about that. And again, Endfield may change this. They may actually converge character quests and main quests into one, and who knows how that will turn out. Maybe it will be good, maybe it will be bad, you never know. So that was me explaining everything, so let me tell you guys my final thoughts about everything. So the story, like I literally explained minutes ago, it's good, it's very interesting. It is similar to Wuthering Waves' story, but again, the execution of it is just significantly better for now. Who knows in the future if they combine character quests and story quests into one, but for now, the future of Endfield is looking great. And honestly, if you played the story, there was a little bit of waifu bait with Fang Yi, where you're exploring the city of Wuling, and she showed you around, and you guys pretty much went on a sort of date together, but it didn't have any romantic connotations to it, but it's clearly obvious they were trying to waifu bait her. Like, it's obvious. I was feeling meh on that, but that's just my personal preference. As long as they keep character quests and main quests separate, I'm completely fine with whatever. That's the main thing that I want. My final thoughts on music, again, I said it was fine. My final thoughts on Gacha, it is bad, but fortunately for me, I'm not terminally on this game. I was only focusing on this game for the entire week just so that I can catch up with the story, but that's it. So from this point onwards, I'm just going to be using my natural sanity to level up my characters. And then once Yvonne comes out, and then once I get her, I'll just focus on leveling her, and then I don't really need any other character. So the gacha is fine for me for now. And I'll probably get Yvonne's weapon too. Hopefully I'll get it, but we'll see. And obviously that will tie up to the combat as well. Again, combat enjoyment is tied to gacha because again, you need the characters to roll for them. So again, I don't really care because I main the administrator, and the administrator has a lot of potential in the future because again, they'll have multiple forms, then I can invest into them again. And yeah, it's just I don't really have to worry about the gacha or combat because I'm fine with what I have. And lastly, the factory system. So what are my final thoughts on the factory system? Well, obviously it's the one game mechanic you'll be spending majority of your time on, unless you use codes. And as someone that really enjoyed Atelier Yumiya last year, again, it was my second most favorite game that I played last year. So I really enjoyed the building aspect of it, and that's literally, it's literally almost 1-for-1 in Arknights Endfield, like the building aspect of it. Except obviously you can't build your own house. And I have a feeling that you're probably going to be able to build your own house eventually in Endfield, and it's going to be like a whole dormitory, and you can have your own characters and interact with them in your dormitories that you build. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a housing system in Endfield eventually. I can promise you that. So overall, would I recommend that you play Arknights Endfield? Absolutely. But if you don't want to engage with the gacha aspect at all, you don't have to. But if you want to roll for like characters that you like on the regular, like if you can't stick to one character that you like, I don't think this game is for you. I mean, it forces you to roll for 120 rolls if you lose the 50-50, so it's very predatory. But if you're a lore nerd and if you actually just enjoy like playing for the story and the story alone and for the characters and the character interaction, yeah, I would say go for it. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for my final thoughts on Enfield. So from this point onwards, I am definitely 100% on board for Arknights Enfield's story. So Arknights Enfield's story will be a regular 6-month thing, I guess, however long these gacha updates take. I'm pretty sure it's like 6 months, but yeah, once a new story releases, I'm definitely gonna make content on that. Probably maybe a live stream, maybe a video, I don't know, probably a live stream. After what I experienced, yeah, this game is definitely worth investing your time into, but only for me. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you like this video, please do like and subscribe, but only if I've earned it. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.